Do you have a shadow? That's how our next guests refer to people's dark sides, what they call the repressed part of ourselves. Noted spiritual explorers Dr. Deepak Chopra, Debbie Ford, and Marianne Williamson joined forces in their new book, The Shadow Effect, Illuminating the Hidden Power of Your True Self. And good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Now, you all know each other. This is the first time you've collaborated on a book?
See, the three of us have the darkest shadows, so we are experts, so we thought we should collaborate.
Probably not a bad idea then, right? Now, how did this really come to be?
Well, I have been working in this area for a long time, thanks to Deepak and Marianne, actually. And I thought, you know, it's such a tough subject. People will do anything to run from their shadow.
Right.
And so I had to bring in the heavy hitters, which are Deepak and Marianne.
Okay, so you all are really very much on the same page on this, that all of us have an aspect of our personalities, or whatever you want to call it, that is something we'd really rather avoid?
There's a potential. Everyone has something that they're embarrassed about or ashamed of or feel guilty.
Right.
It's primitive, and the more you suppress it, the more it says, you're ignoring me, I'm going to embarrass you.
And come back and really bite you in the butt.
Pathologically, yes.
Pathologically. All right, so let's go one by one. What's your dark shadow?
I think I can get tough if I feel, you know, this aspect of ourselves has to do with where we're wounded. It's not where we're bad, it's where we're wounded. And so the shadow is a kind of coping mechanism that we've come up with, usually dysfunctional, but a way to protect ourselves. So I think mine is I'll get tough, I'll get a shell.
Kind of mean?
If I feel like you're messing with. I don't know about mean, but just tough.
All right.
I don't know about mean, if you say mean.
That doesn't sound very shadowy to me. All right, well, how about you?
I would say mine, I have so many, that's why I've been able to write so many books. I think I think controlling would be mine right now. Very controlling, rigid.
Right, and look at you smiling. You're happy to be in touch with your dark side?
I have an addictive personality, so about 35 years ago, I shifted from spirits to spirit. You know, the shadow also comes with a gift.
Right.
So I used to rescue a patient after a heart attack and then go outside the hospital and smoke a cigarette.
Sure.
Or get smashed on a weekend.
Right.
I even tried LSD and mushrooms and all of that. But then at a certain point I said, how can I take advantage of this? And I really now am obsessed and addicted to energy, to creativity, to spirituality, and see what it's done for me.
Honest, you really think the key to unlocking, because all of these conversations end up being about key to unlocking the person we really want to be, if we really do recognize sort of the sins of our past, or the obsessions of our past, or the whatever of our past, is the thing that's going to get us going?
The sinner and the saint are merely exchanging notes. The saint has a past, and the sinner has a future. So relax.
I like it a lot. What are you going to say?
We have to understand that, you know, if we feel not good enough or we feel unworthy, it sometimes can be the driver to make us feel good enough. If we're lazy and we don't like it, it sometimes drives us to work hard. And it's only when, like Deepak said, when we're suppressing it and repressing it.
Well, you look at some success stories, and a lot of people, their engine for success is what happened to them in the past. The kid who didn't make the high school football team, or who knows what it was, said, you know what, I'm going to prove you. So that might be an example of taking something.
It's the wisdom of insecurity. Yes.
The wisdom of insecurity. Right.
I was voted least likely to succeed in high school.
Right.
You know, and I've written 8 books. So, you know, you can take these things, harness this power, and use it. And I think that's what people will get from the shadow effect.
Right. Marianne, what do you think is the most significant thing people can take away from this book?
I think it takes courage and compassion to really look at yourself. And I think what people feel often is afraid of self-awareness. We're afraid that we might see something in ourselves that's so embarrassing. It's like, I don't want to look at it. It'll make me feel ashamed. But what I've noticed, and I think anybody does who looks deeply at themselves, is that something that you might have thought would be too painful to look at actually almost overwhelms you with compassion for yourself, because you realize how hurt you must have been to have developed that coping mechanism to begin with.
Right. The old writing from the New Testament, the truth shall set you free.
First it will upset you perhaps for a moment, but it will set you free. So I think that the book hopefully gives people an invitation to an experience that's not painful, really. What we should be afraid of, if anything, is not looking deeply at ourselves, because if we don't look at it, it can hurt us.
Yeah.
So, if you're living in a glass house, don't throw stones. from.
Wait a minute. Holy cow. I had never heard
There's
that
a lot of
one
glass
before.
here.
I got to write that down. You got to watch out because, you could end up on the dark side.
Sure.
What if you could
So
end up like
the nice thing about declaring
Jedi Knight or something.
the nice thing about declaring your shadow in advance is
Right.
that you won't have to defend yourself in the future.
I told you I was that way.
And we see these people in the news all the time, right?
Sure.
We see, Tiger Woods, he's got this nice mask, this perfection, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, boom.
there you
Got to
go.
watch out for that.
All right. Thank you all very, very much for being here, Deepak, Debbie, Marianne. Really appreciate it very much.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.